Alright, so we are on the road. We're headed just a couple hours away from home. We found something that we need for the next step of our project, which is insulation. But it's not insulation.
We're going to put mycelium in these pallets, but I'd already put the pallets up on the walls and it looked amazing. And I was like, man, maybe I should just buy a fiberglass and insulate it that way and be done with it, because we have so much else to do this year before winter. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes it's about the grind.
Yes.
Okay, it's always about the grind. You got it, Sayla.
Anyways, wish us luck. We know this is like a method that works and people have done it in the not this method, but using the mycelium as insulation.
Yes,
that's a concept that works.
Yeah, we've never seen anyone use actual pallets as formwork for mushroom insulation. And the only people that I've actually seen make a mushroom insulation wall, they used a lab. Basically, it wasn't really a lab, but it was like a warehouse that they had the climate controlled, and they were probably had plastic and like ozone machines and everything. We are going total
off the rails,
off the grid, growing.
A little twist in this line. There we go. Some twists.
No, it takes off.
What do you think?
Should we get started?
Yeah, we better.
Alright. Now let's move this now. It's so cold in here. 39 degrees right now.
Alright, so today is the day. We have our last tank of water that we need to put into the pit. So we will be adding that after we put our pallets into the pit. But yeah, it's supposed to be raining all day long. But we need insulation in our walls, and the only way it's going to get done is if we start growing it. So step number one is to soak our pallets and our straw. So we're all set up for it. We just gotta embrace the elements and do it.
Booyah.
So something we definitely did not expect with this is that the pallets float. So we would have had a much easier time doing this if we had put the pallets in the pit before we added the water, because now we're just having to stand around in the water while the pallets are trying to float in all kinds of different directions, and the water is freezing cold. Some of you guys might be wondering why we are doing this today. Well, for those of you that don't know where we are located, we certainly are located north. So our window of opportunity to do some of the things that we're wanting to do is coming to a close because winter is just around the corner. So there's no such thing as waiting around for a nice day at this point. We just gotta keep pushing through, working through whatever weather we got. So today it is definitely cold, wet, rainy all day, but we're gonna get it done. Deep there. Alright, so we have soaked the pallets for 24 hours, so now we need to pull them out of the water. The pallets were soaking in lime. We raised the pH to around 10. So now we need to pull them out now that we waited these 24 hours, and that was enough time to hopefully kill anything. And we also have to take all the straw out as well, so wish us luck.
Coming at you.
We just put down some plastic on this hillside and threw all the straw on it, and you can see here it's draining out. It appears to be working pretty well, and we're just letting the water drain from the straw for 20 minutes.
Yeah, because then we stuck them.
What do you think of me, Joe? What do you think of me stacking a bunch in here against that post? Would you rather not?
I'd rather do this first one and see how it looks.
Alright.
Thanks for helping today. It'd be a grind otherwise. Not as the breeze. Yeah, let me get some.
So this is the oyster spawn that we will be using. We have 5 bags of it. We have 5 bags of straw to mix with it, so we think that'll be plenty.
I'll get the chicken, but satisfying. I'm not so scientific.
What are we doing here with that?
Oh, yeah.
So what we've been doing for adding the straw and the substrate together is just putting like a thin layer of straw on the pallet first, and then we do like about 2 handfuls of substrate on each side of the pallet, and then we're adding in another layer of straw, a little thicker, and then adding more substrate, more straw, and more substrate. So we're doing that about like 3 times-ish, I would guess. And then after doing that, we're compressing it, and then we are adding in a sheet of plastic, and then just adding on our next pallet and repeating the same thing 13 times.
So the main thing is that you don't want to step directly on the mycelium grain spawn. You want to put something kind of between it.
You need a little bit more hay here then, or straw.
I think we're good then. Does it feel pretty compressed?
Yeah.
Okay. So normally you compress it a lot more than that, but just the way we're set up.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit of a crazy week. I'm getting ready to milk our goats here. Running right up to the feeder. Kind of wanted to give you guys an update on how our project is going with the pallet mycelium insulation that we're trying to do. Last night was our first night of running it. I figured I'd just do this with you guys while I was out milking the goats. And what we did is we had put a propane heater inside underneath the plastic, and we kind of burned it away so the plastic wasn't going to be near the propane heater, of course. All right, no dancing around, girl. Let's see. Why are you dancing? Come on, find your place. So last night was our first night of running the propane heater in with the pallets, and it definitely was not doing a great job of keeping it warm. So what we need is around 65 to 75 degrees, and we definitely did not hit those temperatures overnight. So we run into obvious risk of this experiment not working simply because of our elements that we're up against as far as the cold. So we have another propane heater that we're going to put in there, and we're going to do some additional things to try to really keep the heat in. But this time of year and running this kind of experiment outside and not really having the most appropriate facilities for doing this, it's challenging. Keep you guys posted. And honestly, if you've never tried goat's milk, I gotta say, I highly recommend you try it. It is so good. It is so good. There's like the stigma against goat's milk. Rooster. There's like the stigma against goat's milk, but I must say, we love it. We love it. Especially in the fall, it gets so rich. Chickens are trying to get the grain here. Go! It gets so rich and creamy, it's almost like half and half. So it's definitely a valued possession here on the farm, if you could call goat's milk a possession. Anyways, guys, that was just a little update for you guys on how our project has been going. We will continue to document the remaining, because we have to heat that for possibly like another week. We are hoping 2 to 3 days. That'd be the ideal. I don't really know at this point, just because our temperatures were a little bit cooler. So we'll see.
Alright. Let's turn the light. I just switched to the smaller tank. Big old 100-pounder. We were down. When we first hooked it up, it was only like maybe half full at best. But I'm burning it down a little bit here. You can see what it looks like in here. Super dry, and mycelium. Look at all that. It's doing its job. It's doing its job. Almost looks a little too wet. I don't know. Looks like it's going pretty well in there, guys.